And I talk about habits a lot on this show and how the habits over time make the man or the woman. And I think it's hard to instill good habits. And it's much, much easier to remove the bad habits that we have in life and the things that shouldn't be in our lives. Because a lot of times it's easy to focus on joy, for instance, and go, I'm going to go for a bike ride, but it makes me happy. But then when you get home from the bike ride, you return to either an abusive relationship or a bottle of beer, or you might smoke a cigarette, or, you might have bad thoughts in your head and a bad self-image. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about the show about removing bad things from your life. And I think that's even more important, if you will, than focusing on the good. Because for years of my life, I, had a bad self-image, and I was struggling with anxiety and depression, and I dealt with that by drinking or running 10 miles a day just to beat those feelings out of me. And those are, while the running's healthy and good for your lungs, although I got a bad knee, I don't think it's really addressing the issues that we all face. And again, they could be relationships, they could be drugs, they could be gambling, they could be sex, they could be alcohol, they could be a bad self-image. And no matter how much we focus on the joy, if we keep those bad things in our lives, it's really hard to move forward in a productive fashion. And I think, again, it's important to live like a child and feel the enthusiasm we had like when we were kids, and to focus on the joy and to do the things that make us happy. But again, if we return from the bike ride and we return to an abusive relationship, or we return to a bottle of booze, or we smoke a cigarette, or we smoke a joint, or we once the endorphins fade from the bike ride, we sit on the couch and hate ourselves. That's no way to go. So I would encourage you today, take a look at your life. How's your self-talk? How's your relationships with your wife, with your friends, with your family? How are you treating yourself? Do you reward yourself with a bottle of beer or a shot of, whatever, or a cigarette or a joint? And if you do, because I used to do that. And then one day I woke up and I go, this isn't making me happy. These things are bad and I don't want them in my life, and they're making me sad. So I have done a great job for me of removing them from my life over the last year. And I'd encourage you to do the same. And I guess it all starts from looking within and evaluating how you feel, how you're doing, and where you're at. So I'd encourage you to do that. So I'm going to leave you with that.